I'd like to share a journal with you that I have just finished. I wanted to show you how you could marry two different themes or ideas together by using something they have in common. So, this lady, we're friends, acquaintances. We met in kind of a weird way. I met her where she was working one day and we started talking, and one thing led to another. She found out I did journals and books, and she's commissioned actually quite a few from me as gifts for people. Well, unfortunately, her son just recently passed away, and very sadly. So God bless her, she called me and she asked me if I could. She had so many pictures of him, and would I make for her, could I make her a journal, book like had done for her previously for gifts, so she could, use it as a memory book of sorts, for her son. And of course, I was like, absolutely, I'll do whatever it takes to get what you want, created. And so then the dilemma came of what she wanted. I was not sure, I couldn't just jump right on it. I had to really think about it. She wanted to kind of match his personality, and he was apparently very outgoing, spunky, active, outgoing. Did I say that already? And, he was a boy's boy, all boy, playful, mischievous, maybe. And she said the best way to describe him is like he was like a Curious George or Dennis the Menace. Well, I actually ended up marrying the two ideas that she said, Curious George and Dennis the Menace characters together to create her book for her son. And I think it turned out really cute. So I was very excited to share this. And, I've never mixed in the books before, like, two different types of characters, or anything. And I was so worried about how this would turn out. And, I assured her that I would do something. I knew I had to do something for her. And I'm the kind, if I don't like it, if it's not something I feel 100% about, I'm not going to send it out there, sell it to somebody. This is a gift to her. I'm not selling it to her. It's a gift to her. And it was the least I could do in the situation. God bless her. But, if I'm not, happy with it, it's not going out. And so I was a little concerned about how I could put a Dennis the Menace and Curious George together. Well, when I started looking through things, I found I wanted a hardcover book, and luckily found on eBay this hardcover 1972 or 73 issue of Curious George that was in very good shape. And she really liked the idea of Dennis the Menace better, but all I found were comic books, nothing sturdy enough to, withstand, a journal of, sorts, or a scrapbook or memory book. But I ordered I got a couple of copies of some vintage Dennis the Menace comic books, and told her I would figure it out. I'll make a way to find a way to make it work. And I think what I came up with is great. Now, and I just love the colors of it. I think it's really, really cute. Dennis the Menace, Curious George, they both use bright, bright colors. So that is the common theme that helped just pull this together. Not to mention they're both curious little critters that, are unintentionally, getting into mischief, not meaning to. And, things always work out in the end. So, once I was comfortable with that, I had a lot of fun putting it all together. So what I'm going to do, since I need to be kind of quick, is as I'm showing the book, I'll be stuffing the pockets back. I always take everything out of the pockets and tucks and stuff when I'm doing the binding, just so things aren't falling around. And so I'll be stuffing pockets and showing you the book. So let's start with the tassel, because that's going to move when I pick it up. I attached it. Well, first of all, let's just do this. Let me show you these pieces. I love this. And you know, it's very, it might be hard to work with, but the thing is, I do have it attached, you know, on a binder ring, so it can be removed, or it can be, you know, you can fling it up above the journal when you're working. But what happened was, on the back of one of the comic book covers, it had these little characters from Dennis the Menace, you know, on a white background, and I was like, oh my goodness, they're just too cute to not do something with them. Well, up until the very end of the book, I hadn't come up with a thing. I fussy cut them and just had them sitting to the side, and then it occurred to me I'm going to make charms out of them. So I used what do you call that stuff? Yeah, glossy accents. You know, I just mounted them on some. This was actually an envelope. You know, I recycle as much as I can. And so this was an envelope that I had received something in the mail similar to this style, you know, envelope, this kind of thing, the white. But it was, you know what? It wasn't. It was packaging from glue sticks I got at Sam's Club. But, you know, it goes to show you, packaging can be very useful and attractive and, you know, work fine for, you know, things you use in your journals. So anyway, I just did them by size of the character and cut them out in circles. I covered the backs of each charm with the same little light blue houndstooth paper. And then I included, hey, Addie girl. And then I included in the tassel coordinating, you know, ribbons and fringe, different trims that some are actually used in the book and some aren't. They're just colors that look, you know, nice. And like I said, this can be removed right here. You just take the book, the binding clip, pull it open, pull it through the eyelet that's here at the end, right there. And, you know, she can use these, you know, cut snippets off, or, you know, take the whole ribbon out if she wants to use it, and then just place them back. Very easy to do. And then clip that together, and it's done. And like I said, you can just pull that, push that up out of the way at the top, right? Okay, the binding is different. This is by, I got the idea from Melanie Sullivan, and I was looking for a soft cover, a soft spine for a hardcover book, because the book, when I got through, the pages, you know, here were sticking out like, you know, this much, and I knew I needed some way to make my spine grow a little bit, or make the cover grow. And I really didn't want to add stuff onto the cover, you know, hardcover. So I thought, well, a softer binding spine, excuse me, will work. And give me some extra room to get those signatures inside the covers. You know, I don't mind them even flush, you know, with little things like tabs and ribbon and all sticking out, but this was a little too much. So this worked out fine, and it did just what I wanted. It's canvas, off of a canvas pad, like a canvas art pad you would paint on. And that's exactly what Melanie had suggested. And then you just punch holes in your covers, front and back. You might be able to see them a little better on this one. There's a hole there, hole there. I did one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes. And she used, I don't know what she used to sew hers with, I don't remember. But I just used some sheer ribbon, and ran it up and down the holes. I'm not going to, sit in a tutorial for that, but she shows you, Melanie Sullivan, she shows a great, she has a great tutorial on how to do this kind of binding for your book with the soft spine. And I just used this blue twine, a thin twine, but it's quite strong, to sew in the two signatures. Yeah, you can see them here. And I just left the ends, loose. They can kind of hang with the tassel, or, she can attach charms to it, or, whatever. Anyway, I'll help her today if she wants to do something else with those. So anyway, it's just a 2 signature journal. So let's look inside and try to get some of the things put back in before I wrap it up for her. Oh, I also used glossy accents throughout the book in several places. Can you see the shine? I covered George with the glossy accents, and the title, Curious George, I did with the glossy accents. And it actually dried fairly quick. I was surprised. Okay, the first page. Okay, so the first page, I love that it still had these stickers, like from the library system. This was from Chicago, this book originally. Neat. So we're putting a book pocket, a book library card. I'll get it out in a minute there. And I had a pad of paper that had some cute little journaling cards. This one just says My Way. So I did glossy accents on the arrow to make that stand out. And then this one says Stand Out from the Crowd. And it's camouflage, so it's more, it would go well with a book for a guy. And on the back, I just did ledger paper, or light colored scrap paper, so she could use them for journaling. But there's several of these in the journal, so we'll put those. The library pocket was already there, of course. And these little elements you'll see on a couple of places. It came off of this paper in the second signature, where I punched that decorative element down the side there. I just thought they were cute, and I didn't want to throw them away, the little, the leftover edge that came off. So I just attached them different places. So the next page, big envelope that I made. And in the envelope, I've got some things like stickers. I thought I have some other stickers for her too. I've got to find those. Here they are. Dogs. He likes dogs. Like dogs. And so we'll put a sheet of these in here. Although he liked a certain type of dog. I couldn't find the exact dogs on the stickers. Stickers of the exact kind of dog breed that he likes, but we'll put those in there. And these are just some little frames that were like cutouts from another, from a scrapbooking set that I have that were bright, not too girly looking. And I will also be putting in here with these stickers and those little frames, extra pieces of cut-off paper that we use throughout the book, that I use throughout the book. So she'll have that if she wants to, as she works in the book, she'll have some coordinating things. So here's your title page. And to cover up some of the information here, I just made a pocket out of scrapbook paper and put his name, and used, these are like Scrabble tiles that were scrapbook paper. So I cut out letters for his name and did glossy accents. Okay, and in this pocket, I had, okay, this is going to be one of those. Oh, here it is. I'm looking in the wrong place. I've got, this card says, Caution, Extremely Handsome, like crime scene tape. I love that. And it has, just vintage ledger on the back. And these are letters that make up his name but are in different fonts. This was also on a scrapbook page, and I just cut out the letters for his name. I thought that was kind of cool. I would love that if I was doing a book. Put them in a little glassine envelope, and we'll have those in there for her. And on this page, I thought this was really sweet, and I want her to, you know, be able to fill that out. I just added some trim with some fabric on the side. And here is a picture of George. He's curious, you know, so he's learning, and put some of that trim up there. Use scrapbook paper, just stamp some lines. And this is the back. I left that plain for big pictures or lots of writing, you know, whatever she wants to do. She could do pictures down the side. And on this page, I did glossy accents on the little flowers and the butterfly. I wanted to glossy accent everything in here, and then I was like, well, that just won't work because then it won't, you know, stand out or be special. Okay, so here I started using the Dennis the Menace cartoons and out of the comic book, and just did, I stenciled an area there, stitched this lined paper to this yellow paper, and I use glossy accents on the puddles because they're out playing in the rain. And on this page I use glossy accents on George's, or the man with the yellow hat on the yellow hat. Okay, on this page I've got, I included almost all the pages in the story, but it was getting so thick I was a little worried about it, so I took a few out that you could get through the story without, you know, needing those. You know, you wouldn't really notice it. So this is a picture from one of those pages I removed, and I used glossy accents on the yellow hat here, put a yellow tab there, and then there is writing on the back. And I love that it's just a vintage notepad I had from, I can't even remember what, but that it was red, so it coordinated with the border here and had a date on there. And I used another one of those little leftover cutout pieces, so that will tuck in this spot. And I cut out like a photo frame shape, and we're going to oh, I had a different one, paper clip. Anyway, we'll use this one. This is a doggy shaped paper clip. He loves dogs, so let's turn it this way. We'll paper clip that one there. Alrighty, so she could put, you know, a picture of him behind that and then write about it on that card. I made a pocket here, and in this pocket goes this folder, and this was super fun to make. I wanted to make something that was interactive, so this piece turns. I just used an eyelet. He loves video games, and so I happened to have some scrapbook paper that had video game controls, you know, on it. Cut one out. So that's my grand dog, Addie. She's fussing. She wants me to pay attention to her. Yes, she does, but Nana's in a hurry. Sort of, yeah. And I just made this flip out thing. It has vintage and new, you know, just paper scraps, basically. She can write things in there or tear it out if she wants to use it somewhere else in the book. Here's a vintage note card or index card, and a bridge score pad there. And in fact, I have some extra over here I wanted to put in that. You know, here's another tally, get it turned right, vintage tally from something, a bridge, yeah, and a little scrap piece that she could use to write captions or notes or something. Anyway, it just folds up, and you close it by turning the little piece there, and then on the back it has a pocket, and I just reinforced it with this feed sackcloth, yeah. And I had made this, I had the hardest time finding somewhere to make this, put this cute little folder I made, you know, like a copy of a little manila folder. And it just has some paper in here. She could, you know, write about some stuff and have pictures down here, or, you know, on the back. And happened to have this off one of the comic books that says Dennis the Menace, and his little face I cut out. And anyway, I unfortunately used this lime green tape, which I love, but I just had the hardest time finding somewhere to put it. And so finally this pocket came up when I created this little envelope pocket thing, and so there it went. Yeah, that was fun. And then this is the middle of the first signature. I did the word best with glossy accents to highlight, you know, the best day, and you can put the date down here. And that's a fabric star I think I got from Gina at the Rebookery in one of her fabric kits that I purchased from her. Just added some washi tape, you know, to hide the seam when I added this red on to extend the page. And on this one, see, now I can't remember everything. I'll come back to that. I have something paper clipped to this, but I don't think it's what I have right here. So here's pictures of George. Then they're going to the boat to travel. There's another one of those little blue things. A handmade ruffle I stitched onto that. There they are on the boat. And here he tells him, now run along and play, but don't get into trouble. You know, George promised to be good, but it's easy for little monkeys to forget. And so here's another one of those cards, and it says, "Here comes trouble," with white brick pattern on the back, so she could easily journal on that. And I'm just going to attach that up at the top of the page with a paper clip. Yes, Addie. I'm showing them the book. And you can mount pictures here and make notes, or, you know, put the date or whatever there. And I use glossy accents on the water in the out the porthole. And on this one, I used a flashcard. Just put a ticket tab at the top, and I was just all about tabs that day, and also a green ribbon tab there. But there's bridge tally paper on the back she could write on. And on this picture, I used glossy accents on the fish, so they show up cute. Yeah. And then on this last page of this signature, I made a pocket here out of vellum and trimmed the top with some red check ribbon. And I like that because you can still see the water, you know, beneath. And in that pocket is this card. And she could choose to, you know, put a big picture of him here or several small pictures, write about them on the back. And I just put a grommet in the top with some of the ribbon I used here and some sheer blue. And then, see, that card was supposed to go in here somewhere. I think here's what went there. Another one of these cards. This one says play all day. It's got the controller, and I use glossy accents on the little buttons and just some dotted grid paper on the back. I'll put that on that piece. I might need to trim this piece a little bit. We'll see. Okay, second signature. All right, George is now at home and with the man, and he says he crawled into bed and went to sleep. And for some reason, this cloud paper just called to me for this, you know, thinking about dreaming, you know, and clouds and sleep and all. And the blue went just perfectly with the blue over here. And this is from another one of the Curious George books, not this one. But it was a picture of George hanging up on a wall, you know, and it has him riding a bicycle. So this is what got me started on the glossy accents. I thought it'd be cute to do that frame that way. So I did, and just made a little, you know, mounted it on this construction scrapbook paper, stapled it on, and added some trim, and then just lightly stamped yellow stars on the background of this, so it wasn't plain. But you could still journal over it, you know. And here they're at the zoo, or he's calling the zoo, and it just has the numbers, you know, written out for kids, you know, if you're using the book with kids, to recognize number words. So I happen to have some very colorful number paper, and so I added that here and made, I got this idea from Shabby Dabby Doodah, Tina, about making the envelope, the closure like this with the tabs, and inside I'm going to put this card that I made. This is a picture out of one of the other books, and it was just George running with the barrels. Hey, stop that monkey, but George kept on running, you know. And I added some trim, fabric trim on this, and then on the back it's just plain, so she can journal there and add a picture. Get in there. Okay. Added some trim to reinforce that edge, since I knew, you know, we'd be pulling on this. These are so much fun to make. And on this page, this is just a regular, you know, little business envelope. And I used, I put 2 squares of scrapbook paper here to mount a picture on, and I wanted to do something, you know, with the windows, so I had, this was one of the covers of one of the comic books was like this, yeah, and then it had Dennis the Menace at the top. So I cut, you know, the pictures in half, and I cut off the title, and mounted this on some scrapbook paper and put some ledger paper there. I stitched it on it with a little tab and put that in the envelope here. Just slide it in. And she can write about, you know, something on the back, put pictures here maybe. But you can see Dennis and one of his friends, and part of that friend and his little umbrella through the window. I like that. He ended up calling the fire department, George did, yep. And so at the bottom of this page, I added just a little flap here. You just lift up, and you could do some secret journaling, put pictures up here, or vice versa. I use glossy accents on the phone here, and on this page, on this pocket. And on this pocket, I did George with the glossy accents. I also added some fabric trim. And in the top pocket, it goes this way from the side. So you just slide this in. It's just a tag with Dennis the Menace, and paper to write on down here. She could put a little picture of him, and I backed it with the controller paper. I thought that was cute. And in the bottom pocket, I made a card with a page from the Dennis the Menace book. It says whoosh. Now that's what I call a volcano. But I love that where it says whoosh, you know, like the Batman and Robin comic books too use those big action words. And the stickers I've got for in the front of the book are like that, you know, bam, pow, that kind of stuff. Oh, the back has the controllers and a little piece of paper, and she could do a picture over here and write here and put a grommet in that. And this page is looking like a hot mess because of all the stitching from the page before. So I just used some cool ribbon I found at a thrift shop, the green, and added the blue to it, and put a journal card that will slide it right in here. And on the picture, it's of George escaping from the jail, and the back is, I just cut it out like a little folder, manila folder, and you can see some of the paper I found that I thought was cool for action. Pow and wham and bam it has on there. Yeah, down here you can see. So I thought that would be fun for this book. And George is getting away. And then I created this page with some old Stampin' Up! Grid plan paper or something, and just use construction scrapbook paper at the top, and sort of hid this seam with the yellow rickrack and stitched it on. And another cool paper that I found, scrapbook paper, said "Boys will be boys" all over it, you know. So I used, I cut out a strip of that to put here with this to hide the seam. Stitched it on. Used glossy accents on this balloon. And this is the center. On the front of this little segment, it has a pocket, and I just put a little card in there, a tag that has lines printed on it. A little tab, and put that cute little balloon since, you know, George was flying away with his balloons. I love this. This happened to be a piece of scrapbook paper I had. I didn't know how I'd use it, and it was perfect for this book. And she can do it. 10 things I love about you. She can write 10 things she loved about her son, and I'm sure that'll be, you know, hard, but she'll be able to fill it up, I'm sure, in no time. And, you know, anyway, special page there. So this is a pocket on this side, and I made this card to tuck in. It says, as Dennis cut out down here. Rough and Tough is the label, and then just some ledger paper on the back for writing. And just left the tab blank for her to write a title if she wants, or put the date, you know, whatever. And on the back, this is the title page from another picture that goes in here, but it's the top of the comic book, you know, Dennis the Menace. And I reinforced it because this is very brittle, fragile. In fact, I ripped it one time putting my fingers in here to open that pocket up. And what I'm putting in there is this card, you know, journal on the back. It says "Stand Out from the Crowd." Just slide that in there. And actually this, I've got a little picture I didn't use of Dennis that I cut out in the rain. I'm going to slide that right here. Tuck that in that little spot so she'll know she can slide something thin in there. And George is going away. Just an open page, bright, you know, pretty colors. Open white page for whatever she'd like to do. I did the little stoplight lights with glossy accents. And then this is the other side of that big pocket page. Put the, I wanted to make sure I had one of these ruffles in each signature. Just put some lines on the side. Here's that cool paper too, again, with the controllers, some Monopoly money, and put up there, you know how they have the commercials, or used to have Got Milk. Well, so I was trying to come up with something like that, you know, Got Game, or, you know, just something. But anyway, finally came up with Gamer's Gonna Game, you know, like, because some of these guys that just love their games. My daughter's fiance, he's a gamer, and they really do. They love their games. And you know how people say, you know, haters gonna hate. Well, thank goodness we're not talking about that. But, you know, that little saying, just turn it into something positive. Gamer's gonna game. So I thought that was kind of cute. Just stamp that on there. And she could, you know, write about him and his gaming and stuff there, maybe. And I didn't glossy accent anything there. This page, I glossy accented Dennis, and it's just a CD cover, blue, and she can put some pictures in. And on the last page of the story, I did glossy accents on the red balloon, George, and this tiny little frog down here. I couldn't resist. He's so cute. And these are just some books lists that are also written by H.A. Ray. This is a tab sticking out from that number paper from earlier, and it's a little picture from the comic book, Dennis's comic book. You know what? I think I'm going to put these in there. These are, I also learned about how to make these from Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. They're little, you know, it's an envelope. That's what it looks like. But it opens up all the way, and you can do secret journaling in there, you know. And I thought this might be good because she may have some things, you know, she may want to share the book with people, but she may have some things she wants to remember about her son, or, you know, whatever, that are very personal or, you know, special to them. She doesn't want others to see. She could write them in a little envelope, you know, like this. And this one is the same way. And it just, these tuck in one another. Opens up. Now this one, she'd probably need to do it on, you know, some white paper or something like that and put in there. I'll show her. Give her some ideas for that. And, but they just, you know, fold up like that. I'm going to pop these 2 envelopes. Let's see if they'll go in. Yeah, like that. And she can have her own little spot there for some secret journaling. And this is just the back page. Wait, I'm forgetting something. Yep, right here. This is the cover to the second Dennis the Menace comic book. And, you know, it just happened to come with a dog. And I didn't realize that even when I bought it. You know, I really wasn't paying attention to it. And so I was like, wow, he loves dogs. So on the back, I just printed little doggy feet all around the ledger paper. Yep. So, let's attach this here. So that is the the basic book. And I really hope she likes it. I think she will very much. And I have some extra things in here I'm going to stuff in, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up now and head out to deliver it to her. And she's new to this kind of thing, so I'm going to stay with her and get her started on it and help her out and visit. You know, I thought she could use some company too. So it'll be a great day. We'll have fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the journal, and if anybody's interested, you know, in something like this, you can, you know, contact me or, you know, let me know. But if not, the main thing, you know, why I wanted to share this was that you can take, you know, 2 completely different storylines. Sometimes, I know there might be times when you can't, but thank goodness this worked out that, you know, I could in this situation. The very 2 stories she mentioned, you know, kind of lent themselves to kind of come together and, you know, for her in a special way. And so I just wanted to share that with you. And anyway, hope to see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.